Alrighty, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about Creator Clash 2, which is an event I was really excited for. One of my favorite YouTubers, Chris Raygun, was going to be fighting. I was super glad about it. As soon as I heard that he was on the card, I was gearing up to buy the pay-per-view. And because of the actions of Anissa and iDubbbz, I will not be buying the pay-per-view. And I just want to take a little time to explain my reasoning as to exactly why. So this all started with an interaction between Chris's opponent, Froggy Fresh, and Anissa's mother. And it's a little off kilter, The mother calls Froggy an imp. He makes a joke about iDubbbz's wife. One of those interactions, right? And I saw this, and I was like, there's going to be some rumblings from this. No way they kick him off the card in 3 weeks. I was wrong. I was completely wrong, because they announced in a tweet there has been a change in the lineup and Froggy Fresh will no longer be fighting against Chris Raygun. We will announce his replacement in the coming days. With just 3 weeks left, the countdown to Creator Clash 2 has begun. Now, I just want to say that not only is this just soft, it's irresponsible. We saw with the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul 2 fight that a fight on short notice, and even I think it was one of the Masvidal fights. If you fight on short notice, 3 weeks notice, that's not good for you. So I wouldn't take this fight if I were. Well, I actually would if I was. What's Chris, like 130? I'm a bit more than that, so I wouldn't. I'm more enough that I could not get down to 130 reliably in 3 weeks and not die. I'm like 210. So Chris wants to sign a waiver. Never mind. And I forget that I ever said anything. But imagine what that would do for me, like on YouTube, dude. That would blow up my channel. Too bad. Anyway, this is just weird. Like, your mother-in-law starts a spat. Therefore, you decide to kick one of the premier people off of the card just to... I don't know why. I mean, all it's going to do is hurt a charity. So, what I'm going to do with the pay-per-view money, and what you should do with the pay-per-view money, is take it to a charity. Now, I don't know if I'm able to link charities in my videos, but I could suggest like something like cancer research, or a like St. Jude's Children's Hospital, something like that. Something where, because let's look at it this way. At least when you give the money directly to the charity, more money will go to the people you're trying to help. Part of the reason that you pay for a Creator Clash is the charities, but another part is, so that you can see the fight, because there's going to be a good chunk of change that's going to go towards the venue and, having certain people on site and certain permits. So, you might as well just give the money or donate to a food bank in your area, because as a guy who worked in food banks for a while, I can tell you that they definitely need it. And, you can just catch, some highlights on YouTube after the fact, but I personally am not going to be watching Creator Clash, and I think that I doubt that this is going to create a huge, I don't know exactly what the word is for it, but I don't think a lot of people are going to be discouraged from, making that pay-per-view buy, but I think a lot of people will, because if you take a look at the analytics of that tweet where Creator Clash announced that they dropped Froggy from the card, it has 569 quote tweets and 453 likes. And I want to take a couple looks at some tweets that responded to Creator Clash, and a couple of them ratioed Creator Clash. So here we have Amp Lemon, who he's pretty big. Like, he's definitely a big force, and he said, "Ian has turned into such an imaginable prude. This is so pathetic and petty and sad. Why not just cut to the chase and ban anyone who has ever breathed the same air molecules as Sam Hyde? Why don't you? This is so lame, I might just bail on the event entirely. Now we have Turkey Tom saying making fun of Anissa's mom after she talks about you on Twitter is now illegal. And then we have the last opinion that I want to talk about, which I personally disagree with, because they call out Chris Ray Gun and say that if he doesn't go to iDubbbz and be like, oh, I'm not going to fight, then he's a cuck. I disagree. I don't think that he should have to, do something like that. I think that he should say something about it, at the very least, in either a YouTube video or his podcast, The Snark Tank, which I don't know when the next episode will come out, but that's definitely something that they'll probably get asked to address, and that's something that I would like to hear his opinion on. Outside of that, this is just really, really sad and unfortunate, because at the end of the day, the only people who are really going to suffer are, the people who are going to benefit from the charity money. That's it. They're going to have less pay-per-view buys. They're going to have people not attending the event in person, and because of that, they will inevitably lose money for disenfranchised people. So at the end of the day, as much as I, clown on iDubbbz and make fun, like, and I've never called him a cuck on here, and I don't really think he's a cuck at all. That's a dumb label to put on him. I don't even know how much control he has over this, because Anissa's a really big part of Creator Clash. It's really her event from everything I've heard from the two of them. He's just the mainliner and she runs everything. And credit to her, she put on a great show last year. But making a move like this just feels wrong. And I can understand, a feeling of being like, yeah, I don't want somebody to talk this way about, my family. And I get that. But you have to take into account that it wasn't Froggy who started the whole exchange. And it's unfortunate that iDubbbz and Anissa have carried their animosity towards Sam Hyde for so long. Like, this thing happened, had to be, feels like 2 years ago. I remember watching it, in class. And, yeah, so that had to be a while ago. And now, I just find this so crazy. It was a year ago. But regardless, it's so minuscule. This guy trained with Sam Hyde for a week, alright? And then he responded to, this woman coming after him. And because of that, you decide to take him out of the card. One of the biggest draws to the card. More people were talking about the Froggy Fresh thing than the mainline fight, because, Alex Wasabi isn't as big of a name as Dr. Mike. That's just inevitable. So, yeah. The only people who are really going to suffer here are the people who are going to be recipients of charity. And that's unfortunate. So I'm going to end things off here. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the support on the Resident Evil video. That's been doing really good. Thank you for all the support. Totally. I'm looking to amp up the production value over here. I want things to, I've had a decent growth of subs on here, and I want more. And I think to do that, I'm going to have to, edit things better and edit them more. I don't know how much editing is going to play a role in this video in particular. But I just want to say, I wish that things were different for, whoever is going to be negatively affected by Froggy Fresh being put out. I wish that things didn't have to go like this. I wish that personal feelings weren't so involved. And it sucks that they're going to have to bite the bullet on that. But anyway, here's my Resident Evil video, editing me. Please link to it. Because I keep forgetting. I was supposed to link to it yesterday. I can go back and do that, but, most of the people who are going to watch that video have already watched it. So, I'm going to end off the ramble here. Hopefully, you understand everything that I meant to get across. I might have been a little all over the place, but I hate to see stuff go in this direction. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. Have a good rest of your Saturday night and a good Sunday. Goodbye.